Recently, I was given 1 hour to teach a live audience on how to trade support and resistance from beginning until the end. Here's a preview.
Why did price move? Don't think about, oh, because there was a support there. I want you to think about, why did the price move to begin with? They are now going to get aggressive thinking, oh, it's still working. And they will sell even more here. They will sell more. I want you to observe the candles coming up. Look at the candle here. This size. Look at the next candle. Always remember that. Any time frame above always has more money.
So now, before I show you that entire video, one of the things is it's an hour long and it's going to take you some time that you have to invest into it. So if you really want to get the most out of this thing, be sure to turn off all cell phones and notifications and get a pen and paper to take some notes. I'm sure you're really going to like it. And also don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment so we know to make more content like this for you.
All right. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon. How's everyone doing? Oh man, how long has it been? 6 months, I think. I was just on a live broadcast with Armo. We were just discussing. I think it's been 6 months since I haven't done a webinar. I missed you guys. How are you guys? All right. So as we get started right now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to get you guys a poll just to see who's in here. We have a lot of people in here right now. The room is probably full. I want to take a moment and apologize for those of you who didn't get in. I think there is a limitation on the room. Once again, sorry for those of you who did not get in, but those of you guys who came a little bit earlier to make sure you get in, kudos. Thank you so much. There's one little risk and fear. If you leave the room or somehow get disconnected, there is a small possibility you might not be able to get back in if the room gets full again. So that's not in my control. I'm really sorry about that, but I hope nothing will happen. We're here together and we're going to talk about support and resistance today. So while I do that, I'm going to also open up the poll for you guys so I can know who's in the room and if it's actually your first webinar with Urban Forex. So while I open up the poll, I also want to ask you guys, where is everybody from? Where are you guys tuning in from? So let's see that as well. Okay, there are the countries coming in. Chicago, Dubai, India, Nepal, Australia, Canada, Uganda, South Africa, Germany, Utah, Bangkok, Nepal, Jakarta, Greece, UK, baby, Myanmar, El Salvador, Texas, Melbourne, Nigeria, Czech Republic, Indonesia, Cameroon. Okay, excellent. I haven't gotten through all of them, but welcome guys, welcome. I think we are one of the few extremely international Forex companies, if you want to put it that way. We have people from all around the world, male, female, trans. We have all walks of life at Urban Forex, and we're very happy to have all of you guys. We're very proud to have this diversity as well. So welcome guys, good to have all of you guys. So today's webinar is going to be about can you actually use just support and resistance to trade? Is that even a thing? I wanted to talk about that because it's a topic that's seems to be on the minds of many people to say, well, I think from everything I've learned in the past, I've learned support and resistance the most. And from everything I've learned in the past and I've learned support and resistance the most, I still don't know if I'm doing support and resistance properly. How many of you guys in here would say that is an issue? Or how many of you guys watching would say that's an issue? If you're not here live and you're watching this as a recording, you can simply say me, right? So one thing I want to make sure, guys, that we make it very clear here. Okay, we're here together for approximately 45 minutes. That's one thing. I will not waste your time. And I expect the same vice versa. I want you to understand you are here for a reason, respect that reason. And I would love for you to interact. If I say, ask you a question, interact with your heart out, no problem. No one's gonna judge you. I will make sure of it, right? So interact with your heart out. If you feel still shy to chat, say it out loud, at least at your desk, and just be part of the webinar. you will have the best results from learning if you are with me interacting. So I'm looking at the camera, it's you and me, okay? It's not 500 people or 1,000 people in the room, it's just you and me. All right, here we go. And for those of you guys who are new, as a quick introduction, my name is Naveen Prithyani. Very, very quickly, I am the senior trader at urbanforex.com, CEO of Black Tower Investments in Hong Kong, CEO of Anticipate Don't Participate here in Dubai. And today, no titles, I am simply your coach, simply telling you how it is when it comes to support and resistance. And you can decide for yourself, does it make sense? Has it solved any problems? Did you get aha moments? Okay, so here's what we're gonna do. Anytime something makes sense to you, I want you to type aha. Not haha, aha. A-H space H-A, okay? So anytime you feel you had a breakthrough, I want you to type that, okay? Really let it out, no problem, no problem. Okay, and for those of you guys who are not so interactive, you will see, does it make an impact with the way we teach, the way we get inside your brain and we try to get you that knowledge in the shortest span of time possible? Okay, we're known to have tons of videos and courses, but we do them in very short bite-sized things. So we make sure, all right, how much time do we have with that individual? Let's see if we can get all the information in as quickly as possible. All right, let's do this. Let's do this. All right, I'm gonna share my screen and we will get started. Okay, now support and resistance. Support and resistance. The age-old thing, the thing people refer to as simple. The thing people refer to as, oh, that's so easy. The thing people refer to as, I don't need that. This is for newbies, right? This is the reputation, unfortunately, SNR has, support and resistance has. But today we're gonna change that. Today we're gonna change that. So what we have in the agenda for today is I'm gonna walk you through on what actually is support and resistance. How do you trade support and resistance? How do you draw support and resistance? And then finally, when should you use it and when should you not use it? So let me ask all of you guys this question. Do you think trading can be done with just support and resistance as a technical thing? Can it be done with just support and resistance? Okay, so I'm gonna explain a way on how we at Urban Forex, we approach support and resistance. And I want you to then answer that question of, how much of it is relying on support and resistance and how much of it is not? But at the end of this webinar, you'll walk away with, I know how to trade support and resistance. All right, here we go. Here we go. So let me take off my watches, be fully ready for you guys. All right, here we go. Okay, support and resistance. Let's start with, what is it? Okay, what is support and resistance? And why is it so popular? And when it's so popular, why do we disregard it as, oh, that's something so simple. I need something more complicated. I need nuclear science to become profitable at trading. No, you don't need to. You don't need to. It's nice to have that kind of knowledge, but you don't need that extensive knowledge for trading. Okay, so what is it? So let me draw a certain scenario for you. Let's say the markets are going up, 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 up. I'm going to draw a little bit. In the next 5 minutes, I'm going to bring in the charts also. And then we're going to talk about it on the screen on charts, okay? But we're going to do theory, then we'll go to practical. Yeah, we'll do both. So that way it can click, click, click. Here we go. So what is support and resistance? One of the things I want you guys to very quickly, for the sake of time, I'm going to give you rules. Very small, quick rules. But I want you to think why these rules are there. Okay? If there is a level that has been broken, let's say this was resistance, okay? Very, very quickly, resistance is that above you. Imagine stuff that you're pushing up and it's resisting, okay? Is above the price. Support, okay, is below the price. So if price is here, then this is support. Support is, imagine you're holding a baby, you're supporting it, okay? If you want a quick memorization like that, support is holding something, resistance is you're trying to push a ceiling above you, okay? All right, so now as a rule, if these lines that have been holding get violated, I want you to very quickly say support and resistance has been violated. We might not be in that same state of mind. I'll explain what I mean to say by that. So if you have a movement that goes up, it pulls back, goes higher, that means this used to be resistance, now it's broken through, prices pull back, it goes higher, and you're like, I can see support and resistance. This is support, this is resistance. I can see it's maintaining grounds, no violation yet, maintaining grounds. But I want you to remember, when things start to get violated, and the SNRs are no longer technically holding, I want you to remember the state is starting to change. This is a trend state, okay, where support and resistance tend to hold. When the state changes, what it can do, it can turn into something that might be a channel. In a channel, if you guys know the terminology of it, is something where pullbacks come in deeper. Okay? The pullbacks come in deeper and they won't respect support and resistance. So something you have to keep in mind. There is a state I can use support and resistance. There is a state I cannot use support and resistance. Okay. Interesting. Okay? So we know we want to use support and resistance, but we know in these type of conditions, we cannot, because we're not in the trend state. Okay? So keep that in mind. I'll come back to it. So here's a little preview. We'll bring you back to this towards the end. Okay? All right. Now, here we go. Now we're going to move into, back into the what. So what is support and resistance? And more importantly, why? Why is it so important? Naveen, you might be thinking, Naveen, I've seen like 600 webinars of you of support and resistance. Give it a break already. It's like, what is it about support and resistance? What is this fascination about support and resistance? And why are we talking about support and resistance over and over again? It's because it's that important. Okay, do not take this lightly and say, oh, that's easy stuff that newbies learn. No. Okay, so let's talk about support and resistance. So what it is it is a representation of where prices constantly respond from. So let's say prices constantly respond from, this is $10, okay? And if you're in Forex, Euro USD, maybe the price might be $1.65, whatever it may be. So it's like, oh, around $1.65, around, it keeps bouncing. It moves away. So you're like, okay, roughly thereabouts, I have resistance. Roughly thereabout, I have support. Okay, now, many of you guys might be asking, how do I know how many touches do I need to confirm, is it a resistance or is it a support? Good question. Let's answer that right now before we go deeper. Let's answer that right now. There is no right answer to that. Here's why. When the market goes up and then it pulls back and then it goes up and then it pulls back, I'm going to ask you guys something very quickly. And then it does this. Then it does that. I want all of you guys to think, is this support resistance a good one, or is the blue one a good one? Think about it. Now, they're both support and resistances, but I want you to think about which one is a good one and why. I gave away the answer quite easily here, but I want you to think about why is it that's what you're thinking. Why is it that's the answer? Okay, some of you guys are saying blue. Okay, and some of you guys, a lot of you guys are now saying red. Okay, all right. The reason why the red one is powerful is because from the red one, you can actually see the movement away from that area is aggressive. That aggression sort of tells you what happened at that level that someone hit it so hard. What happened there? Okay? So support and resistance becomes more clear also based on intensity. If the intensity is good, it will be much more valid. For those of you guys who are a little bit advanced, I'm going to just write it here on the side. Those of you guys who are a little bit advanced, just very quickly for you guys to know, very, very quickly, those of you guys who are a little bit advanced, I'm going to come back to the support resistance in 1 second. All of you guys who are advanced, just think about it this way. This, let's say it's a 60-minute time frame. And this one is now a daily on the right side I'm about to draw. Will I even see the blue line? But I will definitely see the red one, which means the daily can spot the red one, but the daily does not notice the blue one. It's not in their vision. Okay? The bigger the levels you take, the bigger the intensity of it is, just know someone above can also see it. And above always has more money. Always remember that. Any time frame above always has more money. Okay, so very quick for those of you guys who are a little bit more advanced, keep that in mind as, got it, I know where the best support resistance are going to be. Okay, all right, remember, if you have breakthroughs, write in AHA, okay? Some of these rules sometimes are so simple, but sometimes so easily neglected, Okay, here we go. Moving forward. So support and resistance is basically an idea of prices keep coming to an area and they push away. They keep coming to an area, they push away. Keep coming to an area, they push away. And you're like, hey, this area keeps pushing away, right? If this area keeps pushing away, then we say there is a resistance above us. If that area gets violated, just notice how it gets violated. If it flies right through, that means there's so much pressure that went through it that there's a high chance it will hold. There's a high chance it's going to hold. However, it's slightly different if it does this. I don't want you to be looking at that and say, I'm going to do a buy. Don't do it like that. Let it move away first. Let it move away to confirm it's actually breaking and not saying, oh, the resistance is still alive. You need to make sure of that. So don't be so anxious to be like, buy. Don't buy it so quickly. Okay? All right. Now, let's move it even further. So this is an example of resistance. Okay? Resistance. Now I'm going to give you an example of support. Prices are coming down, they pull back. Prices are coming down, they pull back. Prices are coming down, they pull back. Prices are coming down, they push up. Prices are coming down, they push up. So what has happened is what used to have resistance above you, see here, no violation of that resistance. Then it makes a new low, resistance above you. Hey, nice use of the resistance, but then where is my follow through? There's no lower low after touching that resistance. Support starts to hold. When it pops up through it, that resistance that was there before has now become support, as I have drawn in a slightly darker color, in a red color. Okay? Does that make sense? So you can see signs of support like that, but resistance can become support, and support can also become resistance, depending on it was holding and then it popped through and now it's holding on the other side. Okay, now one thing to understand about that is when it has to hold onto the other side. So first, let's do this. So what support and resistance is, now you guys know. You guys know. It is basically a visual barrier that we see. We keep seeing again and again, it touches, it moves away. It touches, it moves away. It touches, it moves away. But what I want you to understand is it's always that vicinity. If you say around $1.60, the prices move away, that's why I say don't buy if it goes slightly higher, because it's still in that same vicinity. It can still be resistance, resistance, resistance. Okay? It needs to move away where you're like, whoa, $1.65? Okay, that resistance is probably support now. Okay? Good enough? So what support and resistance is, now it should be a little bit better for you. It is just a visual indication of there's something there, like a wall. Okay? Either I need to have a strategy that breaks that wall, or in my opinion, I would love to have a strategy that tries to trade off that wall. Okay? In Forex, things don't break so easily. In stocks, the walls are weak. You can break through it and make new highs. In Forex, the walls are super strong. Okay, remember that. The walls are super strong. If you see a wall, chances are that wall is going to hold. Okay, so you got to be very, very careful. You got to be very, very careful. Okay, so having two strategies for you to understand, a strategy that's going to pop, that you can break through it, or a strategy that you can trade off of it, which means if it comes up, I will sell it. If it comes up, I will sell it. Okay, let's move into a little bit deeper. Okay, so we talked about the what. Why? Why? Okay, what I'm about to explain to you right now should help cement why this is so important. Why this is so important. Okay, support and resistance is a visual indicator that everybody likes to see, likes to draw. If you see something like this, and someone says, you see that? That's the support resistance right there. Yeah, baby, look at that. Picasso in the house. No, that doesn't look well. In fact, if you tell everybody in a room of 100 people to draw a support, they will never draw that. Okay? So that's when you say, that is not a level I should use. I can draw it like that, but know that majority do not draw like that. Okay? Remember that. So support and resistance is something that it needs to be clear. It cannot be vague even one bit. It needs to be clear. If you see it, so should everybody else. Okay? It cannot be vague. It should not be, I have a secret support and resistance. No. It should be public knowledge. Like it's, okay. So why is it used? Why is it used? I'm going to put you in the mind of a big boy for a moment. Okay? Why am I taking you in the mind of a big boy? It's because a big boy has a different disadvantage compared to you and I. Okay, you and I, we trade in numbers anywhere between $100 all the way up to $10 million. But a big boy doesn't have that luxury to trade small. He's unfortunately has a different set of problems by having too much money. Okay, yes, there is such a thing. Okay, he has a different set of problems. He has a large amount, let's say in the billions, let's say $2 billion. Let's say all of us are selling, okay? All of us are selling. We have a pullback and we see a resistance and we're like, yeah, we're gonna sell. You, me, everybody in this room. Sunny is gonna sell, Dan is gonna sell, Noel's gonna sell, Leonard's gonna sell, Aaron's gonna sell. We're all gonna sell, okay? Advait, he's gonna sell. We're all going to sell, and we sell. Now, generally, with the sell idea, we say, just like this is an aggressive move away from what could have been a previous level of support. He moved away so fast, right? So we say, we're going to do a sell off of here, but this was also an area where they moved up from here. So there is support below us. Look how far it went from here to there. Oh yeah, there's support below us. We need to exit there. Okay, so I'm gonna put you in a story state of mind. Ready? So all of the names I've listed, okay, Sunny, Yavor, Nader, William, Lucas, Okebemi, and Joshua. Okay, all of you guys who are selling, let's say you're selling 400 million. Yeah, that's a lot, right? You're gonna get there. Don't worry, you got this. Okay, 400 million, you're selling big size, okay? But that big size is not comparable to what he needs. And the big boy wants to buy. The big boy wants to buy. If you are coming down to this area and if he hits the buy order, the prices will do this. Now, all of you guys, very quickly, think about it for a minute. If a big boy wants to buy and if he buys and the price does this, is that good for him or bad for him? Think about that. I'll give you guys 5 seconds only. Is that good for him or bad for him? I want you to also think about, why did price move? Don't think about, oh, because there was a support there. I want you to think about, why did the price move to begin with? Is because he hit the buy so big, that not only did he eat the whole 400 million that was down in this area in the profit, that he showed he wants to buy so much that the prices started to fly up because there's no seller in sight. What happens if you want something so badly? Let's say you want an iPhone so badly, you stood in line outside the opening day so badly, and then you were just 5 people away, and then they close the door saying sold out. What are you going to do next? There's going to be a guy on the street that says, hey, the iPhone's $1,000. I'll give it to you for 1,200. You want to buy it from me? But you say, but I need 10 pieces. I need it for my whole family. He says, I only have one. There's another guy down the street. He says, I also bought one, but I'll give it to you for $2,000. You see how the prices is going up now? Because there's not enough sellers. There's not enough sellers, and the requirement is too big. Does that make sense? This is why price moves. Someone hit it a little bit too large. Someone hit it a little bit too big. So think about this now. Here we go. If the buyer wants to buy, okay? Because we're trying to put you now in the mindset of the buyer, right? Okay. Now, if the buyer wants to buy, I'm going to change the color a bit. I'm going to make it dark blue. Okay? Here. If the buyer wants to buy and the price has come down to here. Okay, price has come down to here. We're all thinking it's support. We need to exit. The buyer knows that there is some sellers coming in, and he says they're most likely going to exit here. So slightly before it gets to the bottom, the buyer puts in some buy orders right there. Just slightly below, he puts in some buy orders. He takes 100 million off the table. And then towards here, it starts to bounce a little bit. Now, when it starts to bounce a little bit, all of us who are selling from up here, we're like, what the? I mean, crap, I was aiming for down here, but it's moving already. Close more. Now the price slides up higher. Now the big boy's like, crap, it's going up higher. I don't want those dirty prices. I need a good price lower. I need a good price lower. He will remove his buy orders. In fact, he might even sell a little bit. He might even sell a little bit. And when it comes down aggressively, you know what's going to happen? The people who are selling here and who exited here, they're now going to get aggressive thinking, oh, it's still working. And they will sell even more here. They will sell more. What happens when a retail trader has a winning trade? Is his next trade smaller or bigger? Think about it. Is he saying, I made $200 right now off of one standard lot. The next trade, I will trade one mini lot. Does he do that? Or does he or she ever do that? It's in fact the opposite. He will go bigger, much bigger, as much as things can allow, because he thinks whatever I thought is working, go bigger. As he goes bigger, the big boy starts to buy a bit more. He puts in his buy orders, buys a bit more, buys a bit more, buys a bit more. And as he's buying a bit more, there are people on the sidelines who are watching this support. They're watching that support and they're saying, I see a big boy operating off of that support. As the sellers are removing their money, the big boy is starting to add in his money and take as many orders as he can. The people on the sidelines, who are now in this color, in dark green, they are now saying, I know what the big boy is doing. I'm going to buy also. What they do is they start piling on. The smart money starts piling on, causing the price to leave sooner rather than later. And the big boy is like, well, I did my best. I got in 70% of my money. I couldn't get filled all the way, but when do I ever get filled all the way? It's not possible. How many of you guys in this story understood the operations between a larger player, what he needs to do, and where a retail trader fits in, and where we as a smart money need to fit in? Do you understand everyone's role in this? And do you understand why a support and resistance, in this case, support area, begins to respond? Begins to respond. So many times when a level has responded in the past, we sort of look at it like, is there a big boy over there who didn't get filled? If the price goes back to him, I want to see what he does. I want to see what he does. So I'm okay. Now, let me snap my fingers. Hold on. Everything I just told you, remember it. Everything I just told you, remember it. Because I'm going to ask you this one question now. Ready? Okay. It goes up, pulls back. It goes up. Can all of you guys tell me, is this a good support and resistance? Okay. Or resistance that might become support? Absolutely. Because you can see someone hit it here very hard. Someone hit it there very hard, and now it's on the other side. Someone bought it very, very aggressively to even counter that. Interesting. I wonder if this somebody is going to buy again off of a level where he knows everyone's going to compete for that price. Will he buy again? Now you have a level where you said there was activity there before. I want to see if there's activity again now. So you have what we call the ultimate area for a risk to reward parameter. You have first identified there's a larger player here somewhere. That's step number one. Step number two, you have this understanding of if it starts to move away from this area and I buy from here, my risk point is limited. My risk area, my area where my stop loss needs to be, is very limited, because if it goes below that, I don't want to be in anyways. But if the buyer continues his buying because he didn't get filled last time, then I can ride with him. I can ride with him, opening up my reward a little bit larger than compared to my risk. That's interesting. Now, remember everything that I just told you. I'm going to take you back one more time. Ready? I'm going to bring you back to what I was telling you earlier regarding the blue lines. Okay, remember I did this blue line thing? Let me do it like this. And then I did this red line thing. Okay, now I don't want you to think, oh, Naveen gave me rules. The big one is better. The small one is nasty. Now I want you to go back into the why, because I always like to teach the why. Why should anything happen the way it does? Now, thinking of how I just told you about the big boy when the price is moved away so aggressively, we say the poor big boy is angry. He's not filled. So if the price comes back, he might go for it again. I want you to tell me here, how aggressive is the big boy here? Is he smashing his computer and saying, oh my God, I didn't get filled. I only got filled 1%. Does that look like it moved away so strongly that he got filled a very tiny piece? Or does that look like it moved away just a little bit? It moved away very little. That means he's satisfied. He's fulfilled as much as he can. He has a lot of orders completed. Don't go after that SNR because you're not going to get a follow through. So I want to reel it back in and ask you guys this one question. Is support and resistance just a line, or is there much more to it? Okay? Do you now understand why I love support and resistance? This is my baby. It's like I can teach you support and resistance in 500 different ways. We're talking expert level, in, out, day and night. I've done support and resistance, everything, everywhere, any way, any method, anyhow. Only one thing works. If you understand what the larger player is going through, because he's going to move the market and you need him to move it again. You have to remember that he needs to move it again. So let's now go back to, for you to trade, you need movement, right? If your movement is in the right direction, if your movement is in the right direction, you make money. This is your formula. Okay, this is a fundamental formula that we have. For me to trade, I need movement in the market. And I need that movement to be right. And if that movement is right, then my trade is going to make me money. Okay? So all of that stuff is your formula to make money. Now, if I just have a line and I say, I'm going to buy if the price comes here, can you guarantee me there will be movement? No, you cannot. You cannot guarantee me this unless you see something prior that says, whoa, oh, that's hot. That's hot. That's a very aggressive one. That's hot. I like that. Now you have movement behind you. Now the rest of the possibilities come to life. But if you have something like this, okay, and I do that, or I do that, and you say, oh, that's a support resistance. That's a support resistance on the 1 minute. Well, on the 1 minute, it looks so beautiful. Try buying that. This time, the support resistance doesn't help you because it's not the line that you are trading. You are trading the knowledge of what is my big boy going through. He was suffering here. He's suffering less. He's suffering less. He's suffering less. That means he's filled. His orders are filled. Who's left to move the market? We can't. So who's left to move the market? Aha moments? Is it starting to kick in? So, quick recap. I want to bring this all in together for you guys. Now, guys, it took longer than I expected today to cover all of this stuff on the charts. What we can do is we can make one more webinar on this in 2 weeks' time. We'll make one more webinar on this where we do it more on the charts as well. I'll take you to the charts right now, but we'll do one more where I bring you to the charts. Yeah, is that good? So all of you guys who are here, we'll make sure to invite all of you guys again. We'll see if we can give you a priority to register again. Just remember, Urban Forex members, you will get the highest priority always to register for any of these events. And then if there are seats left over, we send them out to everybody else. Otherwise, it will also be available on YouTube. Nothing to worry. But it's more fun live, isn't it? I prefer it live. I can watch as many recordings as well. I like live. It's a lot more, got more oomph to it. Yeah. Okay. Now let's go in a little bit deeper here. Let me bring it into the chart mode. Okay. I'm going to turn off the whiteboard. All right. Now we're looking at a chart. Okay. We're looking at a chart and we're seeing a movement that is holding in this area. It's hanging around. Okay. There is a level of support here. This is tilted support. Okay. There is a level of support. That support then gets drastically broken. Boom, 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 boom. The first thing I want you to think of is, looks like a larger player wanted to sell, but he didn't get all of his orders filled. When did the selling begin? It began here. He's never done it before because before it was sideways. So from sideways, it just went down. That means he just started and the poor guy is pissed off. Okay, he's very angry. He's like, I didn't get filled. All the damn smart traders, they jumped in with their little $1,000, $100 or $100,000 and they're taking all my sell orders. Okay. He steps away and now there's a next part that says, if I can get the price here, I want to hit the sell again. Because a larger player still wants a good price. He doesn't want to sell down here. He wants to sell at a better rate so he can make more money, right? So he needs to sell at a better rate. So there are people like us, we are saying, I want to see, I know where the level is. This level is clear. I can see there's a strong level there. In fact, what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw this level like that. And I'm going to say, am I supposed to draw my level like that on the body? Am I supposed to draw my level like that on the tail? Am I supposed to draw my level on this one? Am I supposed to combine the two and make a mix and match jambalaya? Am I supposed to draw a box around it and call it a zone? I want you to understand all this is later. All this is later. The priority is there's a level here somewhere. Because of the story that has just unfolded. Do not forget that. That's where it begins. Okay? Okay. There is a level here. Why is this level important? Let me take you up a time frame. I am now up onto the 4-hour time frame. Do you think the 4-hour notices this level as well? We were on the 60, now we're on the 4-hour. Hey, they see it too. That's interesting. Okay, let me take it up to a daily. Well, would you look at that? The daily looks at it too. The daily is not using the tail of it, they're using the body of it. I'm not talking about going details about all of that stuff. I'm talking about, is there somebody there? Okay? So we started on the 60, but then we saw the 4-hour sees it and the daily. Let me go back to the 60. I want to show you a little technique. You see this SNR here? Right there. That looks like, oh, that's drawn nicely. Resistance and support. Let me change the color of this so you guys can see it. I'm going to change that to the blue one. Okay, I changed it to the blue. I'm going to take it up to the 4 hours. And on the 4 hours, I want you to tell me, does that look like a good line? Not at all. It seems like it's violated. It's going through it, in and out. Okay, let me take you up to the daily. That's nothing on the daily. In fact, maybe it gets lucky because of that. But it's actually nothing because it was drawn from an area that only the smaller time frame sees. It is not important to anybody else. So I want you to put emphasis on who's watching this. Is it important to many people? Is it aggressive? Then we begin the journey of, all right, okay, how do we draw this? And more importantly, does it matter how we draw this? Very interesting. Think about that for a second. I'm going to take you back to the 60 and I'll show you this now. Now you have a level and you're like, okay, there's a big boy that is unfortunately really upset. Prices are dropping. If we can get the price up to it, I'd love to sell it. Now prices are coming up to it. Boom, boom. And now you're thinking, what's he gonna do? I drew my line like this. I could have drawn my line like that. I could have drawn my line like that. I am not interested in having a half a pip stop loss. I'm not here for a beauty contest on YouTube. I don't care. I need to be right. Okay? Because momentum, I need movement, I need the right direction, therefore I make money. Okay? Having a small stop loss means beauty contest on YouTube. Not interested in beauty contest. Okay? I need to make money. That's the bottom line. That's why I'm doing all this, right? We need to turn that into a profit. So we are now watching this and saying, the line is hereabouts. I'm sure it's here somewhere. As the prices are coming up and they're like, is he hitting it? I want you to observe the candles coming up. Look at the candle here. This size. Look at the next candle. That size with the tail on the bottom. Look at the next candle. Bigger. Whoa. What's up with the speed, buddy? Calm down. Look at the next candle. Whoa. If my seller is here somewhere, I want to see it. So the first thing he does is the following candle around our line. Around our line doesn't mean exactly on our line. Around our line says, I'm tired. I now have for the first time, I have a smaller size candle. I'm tired. That's when you get your first indication of he's here. He's here. Okay? Can't give away all the good stuff all in one day, so I'm going to let that simmer with you guys a little bit today. Okay, I'm going to let that simmer with you guys a little bit today. Tell me, up until right now, how much of it would you say, wow, support and resistance, next level stuff, man, next level stuff. It's not just a line that preschoolers draw. There's so much more to it. Agreed? Aha moments? Okay, I see a lot of you guys were typing ahas regularly from Alan, Jordan, Antoine. Good. So now I want you, because I'm promising you guys one more support and resistance webinars where we go onto the charts like I just did now. We'll go into the charts and we'll make that all about support and resistance just by, okay, let's take a look at this one. Let's take a look at that one. So next webinar will be more practice, just to make sure you see enough examples to see. I had the theory in the first webinar. Second webinar, I did trial and error over and over again. I got it. We need that to sink in with you guys. For then we say, I have now given you a fighting chance in this industry. You now have a fighting chance. We can refine all of that. Many of you guys are already in Urban Forex as members. You guys already know how to do that really well. But for those of you guys who are just on YouTube, that's okay. We'll find a way to refine it a little bit for you guys so you have a fighting chance in this market. It's not difficult though. We have a mantra at Urban Forex. We say it's not hard, it's easy. So what I'm going to do in the next 2 weeks, I'm going to give you homework. Okay. I'm sure webinars don't give you homework. I don't care. I give you homework. Okay. I'm going to give you homework until the next webinar begins. Try to practice what we talked about today. Try to see it with your own eyes and see how much of it did you pick up? How many aha moments do you have when you do it on your own? If you feel there's some complications, maybe those will be answered in the next webinar. And most likely it will be. But at least start the journey. Okay, so how many of you guys here, before I let you guys go, can promise me you guys will make a conscious effort of doing it? Of actually trying to do this and saying, I'm going to give it a shot. I'm going to see if I do support and resistance properly once again. Okay, properly once again. And don't worry, everything is recorded, so you will be able to watch this as many times as needed. It's going to be up on YouTube probably in less than 24 hours. And if you're already on our website in our mailing system where we're messaging you, what I'll do is I'll see if I can get together with the team. And if you're in our mailing system, we'll also send out some support and resistance examples. Not just that, but we'll also send you some of my trades that I have taken. Okay? Is that good enough? So if you're on the mailing list, I'll get you that as well. So that way you get to see it firsthand, what stuff I was looking at, how it unfolded, and we can even talk about it in the next webinar when we're together. Okay, so I see a bunch of promises in here saying, I definitely will, yes, 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 I will. Okay, now we have proof, it's in the recording, okay? These, all of you guys, I'm gonna hold you accountable. You got this, you got this. So the one thing that we must do for each other is to hold each other accountable to push forward. To me, the industry is very easy, but it's easier for me to say because I've been in the industry for like 20 years or so. Like it's like I'm becoming old now. Look at all the white hair I'm getting. So I've been in this industry for very, very long. I think 15 or something like that to be exact. But I want to make sure that I can get you the knowledge. I just need you to stay put. I got you. Don't worry. Don't worry. I haven't failed anybody yet. I won't fail you. Don't worry. All right. Thanks for coming in, guys. I'll get you guys a recording shortly, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers. Bye for now.